and listeners. So
yes, I'm actually in Winnipeg, Manitoba, which, Rachel, is the geographical center of North America. It even says so on our signs. Yes, we're very proud of it, apparently, here in Manitoba.
That's really cool, actually. I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, there you go. Little history lesson for you.
So I guess just tell the viewers about your career. Like, how did you get to this point doing play-by-play for, obviously you've done some NHL and then you did some NCAA. How did you get to this point?
So it's a bit of a long story, so I'll just really try to put it down to the interesting part. So let's start there. I started back in 2003, and I was lucky and fortunate enough to get a job at my hometown station, CKX Television, in their sports department right out of school, which I look back now and it was such a gift to get that opportunity. From there, I bounced into Winnipeg at CTV, worked there for a lot of years, and continued to climb up the ladder. And then I got a big break in Boston at NESN, and that really changed the scope of my career, because for the next 2 years, all of a sudden you're covering the World Series champions, the Boston, Red Sox, and you're covering Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. And when you're on that type of stage, suddenly people start to pay attention to you. And that led me to a job offer from Sportsnet when they received the NHL rights and that historic 12-year deal for $5.2 billion and brought in the Hockey Night in Canada brand. And when I walked through the doors at CKX, that was the goal, to work for Hockey Night in Canada. So even though Boston was incredible, I decided to come back to Canada and moved to Toronto to work for them. But 2 years after we started, massive layoffs, and I was one of them. And then after that, frankly, I couldn't get a job. I couldn't get a job in the industry after, 13 years and getting to national and being on Hockey Night in Canada and all this experience behind me. I just couldn't get a job again. The people I was losing out to were often younger. And at that time I was in my late 30s, and they also were less experienced, which means you didn't have to pay them as much. And that's just economic. And that's when the idea of calling play-by-play came into my mind. And it was something I had always wanted to try, and briefly tried at Sportsnet. But because I was so busy doing everything else, I didn't have the time to practice. I didn't have the time to do it. And, there weren't really any opportunities anyways. But during that time, that's when I started putting the feelers out. And first person I told was my agent. I said, what about play-by-play? I'm a broadcaster that has a certain amount of history behind myself, and there's no women doing it. And I really looked at it as there's an opportunity here if I'm willing to put in the work. And it was going to be a lot of work, and it has been a lot of work. And, from there, it was just simply, as I mentioned, putting the feelers out, reach back out to the same gentleman who laid me off at Sportsnet and told them that this is what I'd like to do. And they had the Canadian Women's Hockey League package at the time, and they gave me the opportunity called play-by-play.
We're going to take a quick break now, but don't go anywhere. More with Leah coming up after the break.
Hello, I'm Sean McNall, owner of TG Marketing. We are a promotional product company located in Regina, Saskatchewan. Originally founded by Tom G. McNall in 1985, we are now in our 35th year of business. My brother Ryan and I, along with our great staff, have carried the torch since Tom retired in 2011. For those of you who don't know what we do, we sell items with a company's logo on it, like clothing, pens, phone chargers, Bluetooth speakers. The list of products available is endless. Our products are a great form of advertising. Whether you want to give a gift to a valued client or show your appreciation to your staff, we have a friendly team that can help find the right product for your needs. The key to our success has been our customer service and our vast knowledge of products in our industry. We ask the right questions to get you in line with the proper product for the project you are working on. Stop by 1046 Winnipeg Street and view our showroom. Get some ideas for that next promotion you're working on. Let's make your business what everyone's talking about.
How do you kind of stay focused when there's no work? And I have another question sort of related to that. Like, obviously trying to call games during a pandemic, just what was that like? In addition to not calling games for a while, then I'm assuming you're calling games remotely as well. What was that like?
Yeah, so I've been very fortunate because I've been able to be in the rinks when I've called during the pandemic. When we were in Fargo in North Dakota, they were open up enough that there was even some fans at the game. They had 25% capacity. So it felt a little different because obviously there was the testing and you're wearing masks and your color person is down the hallway from you instead of right beside you, basically. So you can see them, but they're, quite far away. So you kind of miss that camaraderie. But that game felt fairly normal. It wasn't that bad, but I just called the PWHPA Dream Gap Tour in Calgary with Cassie, and that was at the Saddle Dome, and it was completely empty. It's obviously an NHL rink, and we didn't even see our producer once. They're on site, but nobody's allowed to see each other. You're not allowed to connect with the players. So it's very different than what it was prior to that. So that was my first experience without a crowd. And I have to say, Rachel, I hated it. I loved the call of the game, but you realize how important, and I know this probably sounds silly, but how important the crowd is. I mean, I can't imagine what the players have felt like not playing in front of fans for so long in Canada this year in the NHL, because I know just from a play call, you ride the waves of the energy from the crowd. If there's a breakaway, people start to crescendo. So you start to crescendo. They're almost a bit of a guide for you. So I found that I really had to almost work myself up a bit to get my call a little bit higher, because if not, it's almost like you're calling the game off of a television in your living room because there's no of that game atmosphere. So I have to say, it's interesting because Cassie and I, when we called our NHL game, it was Calgary and Vegas. And it was the last game Calgary had with fans before the world shut down. And then we called these games for the PWHPA, and they had said, you guys called our last game with fans, and this will be our last game without fans. So that's an exciting thing going forward. It's a little trivia question there, but I can't wait for fans to get back in the stands because it makes a huge difference. Yeah,
just relating to that on a personal level, like obviously I haven't called them at a level like you, but I just remember when I was doing games at Western in London, Ontario, and normally they don't get fans for the hockey games, just for football, but they had a lot of school day games. So we'd have the kids and they'd come in at 11, and the amount, like the difference in terms of like levels, because it's packed and you have all these kids and they're all screaming and it's so loud you can't even hear yourself think. But it's also better than the games normally when it's like a few parents and it wasn't really good. But when you have the kids, it's like you really feed off that energy, and it was hard because they're loud, and as I said, it's hard to hear yourself think, but it was so much better, and I think the players liked it way better too.
Oh, absolutely. And, it's just, I couldn't believe the difference. And so I'm actually really happy I received that experience because it teaches you something. I hope we never have to experience this again, ever in my lifetime, but it is something. And now I know the difference between having the crowd and not having the crowd when I'm calling a game.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me. This has really been a lot of fun. And I think the viewers will really get a lot out of this.
No problem, Rachel. I really appreciate you having me on. This has been great.
Thank you so much to Leah Hextall for joining me. I really learned a lot from her. Her experience has really been invaluable. And don't forget to stick around because the main show with Rod and Darren is coming up next.
Right now, here we go. The breaking news. The CFL Board of Governors votes unanimously to begin a shortened 14-game season on August 5th.
How about that?
We're going ahead. We're opening training camp. We're going to kick off August 5th. They're doing what's best for the league. They're doing what's best for the game. They're doing what's best for their players and staff. They're moving ahead. So bravo to them.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
It absolutely is. Happy Friday, everybody. Flame Tech Football Friday. It's what you've all been waiting for, I think. And we are live on YouTube and Facebook. Preempted this week on Game Plus Television. Get that hate mail into them. Moose DuPont's here.
Send the hate mail.
How you doing, Moose?
I'm great.
We heard from the Game Plus guys this morning, and they don't have a problem with the hate mail.
No. least they didn't tell us they did. No news is good news.
It means people are watching.
That's right.
I'll tell you what, we've got two of the biggest names in the Canadian Football League coming on today's program. Real nice work, Clark, the best guest booker in the business. We got Pinball Clemons, the general manager of the Toronto Argonauts, and Paul LaPolice, the head coach of the Ottawa REDBLACKS. And I'll be perfectly honest with you, I have no idea how they found the time to join this show. I'm not joking.
I know.
So I'm incredibly honored that those two gents will be with us today as we get ready to talk some football. I'll get to your comments in a moment. What I would love is if you could chime in with where you're watching from today. We always like that with your comments on this Friday. And let's go with the quick six show topics, please, if you don't mind, Director Jordan. Well, it is a Flame Tech Football Friday, but they're not entirely football-related topics here in the Quick Six. Number one, the Tampa Bay Lightning beat the Islanders last night 2-1 on Long Island to assume a 2-1 series lead. Clearly, I watched the game. I'm all in on the Islanders for a couple of reasons. Got our buddies there, Jordan Eberle, Clark Gillies, and so forth. Tampa won the Stanley Cup last year. The team hasn't changed a whole lot. You know what I mean? They all got rings, so let's let somebody else win.
Right.
But there was a controversial penalty, interference penalty, which led to the game-winning goal. And I'm just sitting there going, why do we even talk about this? Why do we even talk about officiating? Because it's going to come up all the time, and it seems like such a waste of time. Because these things are always going to happen. Should we just stop talking about it?
Well, I mean, we can, but it's so critical to the game, and that was such a big moment. We usually don't. But it just feels like this is the year that it seems to come up on almost a daily basis, which isn't normally the case.
Yeah.
Where bad calls happen all the time. I get it. Like, nobody's perfect. And not that they're bad, but it's somebody's going to disagree with every single call, and that's fine. I'm not here to talk about that. But these are calls that are impacting the game, like leading to goals and on scoring plays and monumental moments. It doesn't seem like this has happened in a really long time at this volume.
No, on the other night, in game 2, Barry Trotz was just losing his mind with they got 7 guys, right? You saw him yelling, right?
Yes.
Last night he was just, he couldn't believe the
vibrating.
He was punch drunk on this call. So, yeah, I don't even know why we talk about it at all. Our poll question, now hang on, hang on. Sorry for that. I'm just checking in. Victoria, BC. Trevor Bazillo says I'm in Grey Cup champ land. I guess that would be Winterpeg. Salt Lake City. Jeff, the Stamps fan, says he's in his mom's basement. I have no problem believing that. Kamloops, BC.
How about that?
Saskatoon, the 905. Southern Ontario. So, yeah, keep them coming. Keep them coming. Did I mention Green Bay? Green Bay, Wisconsin. We got the Cheeseheads here. Edmonton. Come on, Mandy. Cheer up in Edmonton. Started already. Point 2. Vegas at Montreal tonight. My prediction is a 3-1 Golden Knights win. What the heck? My brother and I were getting in early with our predictions here.
Yeah.
He's got 2-1 Golden Knights.
Okay.
So looks like the Golden Knights are winning. Why play the game?
Yeah.
Not nervous at all. 6 p.m. Mountain Face-Off.
What did they say? And they said it on the broadcast last night when series are even at 1. Who wins game 3 improves to like a 78% chance of winning the series.
Is it that much?
It's high.
Well, I know game 5 winner in a 2-2 series is 78%. I would be surprised it's that high in game 3. It's pivotal tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Pivotal tonight. Hey, Leanne Horning-Wright checking in. She's watching from Vegas. Brad Horning's sister. Saw your brother the other day, Leanne. Maybe he told you. We had a nice little visit about Regina Pats hockey. God's team. Point 3, Rod Brindamore wins Coach of the Year in the National Hockey League. As I said, there's 31 great coaches in the NHL. That's the truth. He's the best. Voted the best. So congratulations to the Notre Dame Hounds alum. They will probably win a Stanley Cup by the time he's done. Although I got to say this, I saw a video the other day. Is Don Waddell still the general manager in Carolina? I saw a video of the two of them together at a desk. And I thought it's interesting what Don Waddell was the general manager in Atlanta and could never get them off the ground. They're Thrashers, right?
Right.
But now he's in Carolina and he's got a legit Stanley Cup contending team. I mean, they didn't make it out of round 2, but that's not bad. But sometimes you need to look at guys that get fired and look at the whole big picture, right? Not just the fact that they were fired. Speaking of fired, I noticed on the ticker on TSN on SportsCenter that Denmark lost at the Euro 2020. So here's me, uneducated sports fan. We lost 2-1 to Belgium. Fire the coach. Am I doing it right? And Mark Bergevin, Lou Lamoriello, and Bill Zito named finalists for the General Manager of the Year in the National Hockey League. And I don't have no idea how Zito got in there. But that's why I also get upset with people. Because with about 6 weeks to go in the regular season, in my leftovers, my NHL leftovers, I said, Mark Bergevin for GM of the Year. Just get ripped from neck to navel on that from people. What about Kyle Dubas? What about him? Sometimes you just wonder why you put your opinions out at all.
I know, and I think Bergevin might win it. I really do.
He should.
Zito, I get Florida, but you know what? This is a year behind.
He just got there.
But my point is a year behind. Like, this team was good last year at the end when they started making their moves. They didn't make a whole lot of change, I don't think, in that roster. It's Quenneville who took him from, on the cusp last year to being a contender this year. So Quenneville for Coach of the Year. Yeah, I think Bergevin's my pick.
So actual football, point 4, CFL stuff. I had written down here standings predictions, but I think it might be a little early for that. Something more delicious has dropped into our lap. And by the way, this is the warm-up for E-Cold Electric. Our good friend Luke Mullender tweeting about, he's the color commentator for the Rough Riders and a 9-year CFL player, and he kind of took issue with what the Rough Riders head coach Craig Dickinson said, that they're going to have to cut some guys that are coming to camp not in shape. And Luke, was it just this morning he tweeted this?
Yeah.
He said, or I didn't know if it was this morning or last night. A couple hours ago. He's like, come on, give these guys a break. Look what they've been through for the last 16 months. They've had to have jobs. They've had, they haven't been sitting there getting paid like the coaches. I might be adding a little more to what Luke said, but the gist of this is, can we give these guys a break? If they show up in camp not entirely in game shape? That's from Luke. You were a little surprised that he would bite the hand that feeds him, per se, the head coach of the Rough Riders, but he's taken the player's side, which I think analysts should do. My take when I read that was COVID-19. Hashtag sucks to be you. It is what it is. If we've learned anything in the last 16 months, everybody's in it for themselves. Period. Mm-hmm. Okay? And if you don't agree with that, you're going to figure out sooner or later in life, if you haven't figured that out yet. Looking out for number 1. That's it. That's all. But you have some strong takes on what Dickie said and Luke's reaction to it.
Yeah, Luke was kind of criticizing him a little bit for calling it the offseason. This wasn't an offseason. This is a year and a half where we had to take care of families and do all these other things. I just thought it just shocked me that, he came out so hard against Craig and what he said on the air. But you know what? You kind of sway me back to being like, look, he's got the players back. And, it's okay to disagree with somebody in a respectful way. I think it was still delivered respectfully. But, yeah, it's tough, and we're going to see a lot of surprise cuts. That's what I really took away from it, is there's going to be players who you're like, he's one of the best on the team, or I thought he was a leader on this group at that position, and they're going to get cut because they're not in shape or they're not ready to play, and young, hungry football players that have been putting in the work will be ready to go, and they'll take the spot. So it'll be interesting to watch and follow.
Well, there's a flood of comments coming in, and I really appreciate it. Carlos Legena in Indianapolis says, roster cuts are roster cuts. It's not that much different from roster cuts any other year. Come on, Carlos, you know better than that. Come on. Or do we not know that players are people? And am I too defensive about that? I always laugh when we talk about a minor trade. Clark Monroe traded for Darren DuPont in a 1-for-1 deal. Not minor to them. Right? And these veteran players that have had to work to feed their kids and now quit those jobs and get across the border and quarantine and do all these things in camp, and they might not be in the best shape, get cut for that reason. Oh, well, sucks to be you. Doesn't matter what you did before. Am I too defensive on this?
No.
To be honest.
You're putting it into perspective, right? But unfortunately, those are decisions that have to be made. I want to think about in Saskatchewan and the biggest names, right? When Chick and Dressler and, Fantuz got moved and guys got cut and...
Stop!
You want to go?
Nelson, even if you have a job, it's not hard to make it to the gym. People who live regular lives do it every day. Nelson, we're not talking about 30 minutes on the treadmill. It's 2 hours every GD day pushing weights. This is like 4 or 5 hours in the gym every day. Are you saying these players, oh, you can go to the gym? I did.
How about that?
We're not off to a great start here today. Pull your heads out of your asses, people. Yes?
But it is. As a football player, it's minimum 2 hours a day when you're getting into shape. Maintenance, they're in there for at least a couple of hours, and they're ramping up for a season. It's 2, 3, 4, 5 hours a day, a couple of times.
Yeah.
And it's not, it's not just swinging by on your way home from work and dropping in for 45.
Well,
right?
Yeah. So you got a full-time job, and you got to work out full-time. But you know what? Go ahead, because I just got my tickets. I'm going to come watch you. If you're not in shape, piss off. It's your problem. My bad. Jack in Vulcan, Alberta. Agree 100% with Luke. One of the CFL players made the comment, most USA players have had access to gyms where many Canadian players haven't. What did Charleston Hughes say this summer? Last summer. I can't remember. What year is it? Where are we?
I know.
He said that he was running stairs, and what else did he say? For weights. What was he? I can't remember what he said he was using for weights because the gyms were closed at that time. And I'm thinking the Argos would allow Chucky to come in and get himself into shape. But he was in here the other day saying he's not in game shape because he's had to work. But you know what? That's fine. You can just swipe your card and, go to a yoga class. And I'm sure you'll be ready to tear after CFL quarterbacks. Warm-ups brought to you by eCold Electric, your complete electrical distributor with locations Regina, Estevan, Swift Current, Yorkton, and Moose Jaw. eCold Electric. Let's get to work. There's more, but I'll move on. I do have to mention the Blue Jays. How about the Blue Jays?
Oh, boy.
They've lost 4 in a row. They were swept by the Yankees. And last night, here's my thing on this. I was watching a hockey game, not the Blue Jays. I still can't watch 2 games at once. I don't know how people do it. But in the history of Major League Baseball, there's never been a triple play turn that it's a 1-3-6-2-5-6. And that happened last night against the Blue Jays. And it was all because Bo Bichette had a brain fart, bad base running. And I see the people are blowing a pipe. And I'm watching Charlie Montoyo. And please don't cancel me when I say this, but when I'm working out in the morning getting ready for a CFL season on my Bowflex at home, the machine's kind of loud, right? So when Charlie Montoyo's talking on SportsCenter with his postgame, I can't really understand him because his English isn't great.
Right.
So I couldn't really see what Montoyo said. TSN, can you put subtitles underneath Charlie Montoyo? Like he's speaking English, but not well. But it was something along the lines of their kids. And I see people on Twitter wanting to fire Charlie Montoyo because of the base running gaffes last night from the Blue Jays. You can't. People just want to hang the coach, right? For what the players do. But there's been a lot of mistakes. I mean, these people that have been on the Blue Jays' ass lately, I'm starting to see why. I'd like to think it's a June swoon. Don't you, though?
Yeah. And, I think, when you think about what he said, he also said, look at it, in our locker room, we're in a good mood. We're having fun. But we're working hard. We're taking all the ground balls. You don't see all those things. So I think, people kind of get upset when he says, we're having fun. We're in a good mood. But you're losing all these games and making all these mistakes. How is it fun? We want to hear that things are miserable and that you hate losing. But you know what? He's a guy who's trying to keep the culture intact. It's a long season. You can't, get into a tailspin now. But 10 losses, I saw the stat this morning, 10 losses when leading by at least the 7th inning or later. 10, most in the majors. And a number of those, I think 5 of them have been since June the 8th, and 8 have been since May the 20th. Those numbers are pretty close. That's a lot. So you take those 10 wins. When you're leading in the 7th inning, you got to lock it down. If you can get 6 or 7 of those wins back, you're right back in the mix. So they're close. They're really close.
I appreciate all the comments from everybody. We got to break and bring in Pinball Clemons. I'm interested to get his take on training camps opening here. Jacques Dupuis in Ottawa. I'm on your side, Rod. Give the players a break. A lot of comments, we'll get to them, but Pinball, we can't keep them waiting. The general manager of the Argos. This has been the warm-up for E-Cold Electric. We'll be right back. You're watching on YouTube and Facebook. No Game Plus TV today, but we're also on 24-hour sports radio for Suds full-service car wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Ultimate Fan Zone. Shop online. UltimateFanZone.ca. Slick, user-friendly. We built this site for the die-hard sports fans. Jerseys, hats, team apparel, offering officially licensed fan gear from the best lines in sports. Nike, New Era, Adidas, Fanatics. Game day ready to your door. Now, just a click away. UltimateFanZone.ca. Or check us out on Facebook and Instagram. UFC Downtown Moose Jaw. Home of everything authentic.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Capital is Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out CapitalFordLincoln.com to see how we roll and to learn about what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's what you get when you choose Capital Ford Lincoln, Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Hey, honey, can you get one of the kids to show me how this Twitter thing works? Honey, I need to get on Instagram. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Flame Tech Football Friday continues. Moose is here, as always. Industry leader in combustion services is Flame Tech. We await the general manager of the Toronto Argonauts, Mike Pinball Clemons, and coming up in hour two, the head coach of the Ottawa REDBLACKS, Paul LaPolice. I should mention today is the last day to get your University of Regina Rams 50-50 tickets. The draw closes at 8 p.m. tonight. The jackpot is $25,000. It is entirely online, open to all of Saskatchewan. You must be 19 years of age or over. All you got to do to buy your tickets is go to reginarams5050.com. The team is entirely self-funded, okay? So if you love football, support university athletics, please get your 50-50 tickets up until 8 p.m. tonight. So we got breaking news today. Did we know that the Calgary Stampeders 75th anniversary jerseys were coming out today? Did we know that?
I didn't.
I didn't.
But it's exciting.
Yeah, well, so you're loving this, eh?
I love it.
Clark, nice work, Clark. He has found the jerseys for the Calgary Stampeders 75th anniversary. And I'll say bravo to that. It's nice. Not what I expected. Maybe we should face... Ew! Clark threw that at me as a surprise. Ew! Bo Levi Mitchell, the model.
I actually think it looks better, hit that picture with him wearing it than just the jersey laying there. I think it's really sharp. Bravo to the Calgary Stampeders on this one. I love it. I really do.
I didn't expect that. I see Nelson writing in and saying, that they knocked it out of the park and so forth. That, to me, looks just like a straight retro jersey, which I love the retros, but that's what it looks like. It's got that old school Calgary Stampeder patch on the arm. I was thinking a little more cosmic, a little more...
Modern it up.
Yeah, modern it up. I was thinking a little more modern. Black, red, and white. But I love it. That kind of reminds me of the old Montreal Canadiens jerseys and the Seattle Metropolitans barbershop ones. So, hey, it's cool for sure. But nothing, our next guest would agree, I'm sure, compares to the old Argo boat. He's worn it many times. And the general manager of the Toronto Argonauts, Mike Pinball Clemons, joined there. That got him going. How you doing, Pinner?
Good morning. How are you, sir?
100%. I can't tell you how much I appreciate the time, my man. How are you finding time in your day to get ready for this season?
Oh, my goodness. Well, we've been getting ready for this for a long time. And now that it's here, it feels like everything's a rush. And so you think that you prepared everything and you're all set and all ready. But this past week has been an aggressive week, as we would say in football.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I appreciate the time because I know how busy you are. But when that vote went 9-0 on Monday and you knew you were going to be playing, maybe you knew ahead of time what it was going to be, but a lot of relief across this land. Players, fans, staff, I'm sure you felt it.
Yeah, I was fully confident until in like the last 5 days. For some reason, the last 5 days, I got a little anxious and I was less confident that things were going to go through, not for any apparent reason other than this was the vote. This was the D-Day. And fortunately, it turned out exactly as I think we all would have hoped.
So tell me something about the Toronto Argonauts. Pinner, I think I can finally say I think you're my team. I wear blue almost every day. I love you guys' gear. Nick Arbuckle's my guy. Chucky Hughes is my guy. You guys are in a tough division, but how are you feeling about your club?
You know what? We feel great about our club. We're actually, I would say, politely challenged by the place that we're in this 14-game schedule. We play 7 games. Half of our games are either against the 2 teams that finished first last time we played or the team that won the Grey Cup. So 50% of our games against the 2 guys that finished first and the other guy that won the Grey Cup. So that's the nature of our league, though. This is a tough league, and you think of, when we put this team together, we were thinking of a team that would mature in the second half of the season. And the reality is if you don't mature in the first half, I don't know if you're going to have that chance. Typically in the second half of the season, you can do a lot of work, but in a shortened schedule like this, I think that we're going to have to produce earlier than later. So that's our greatest plight. We certainly have talent. There's no doubt about that. We've increased our Canadian talent. We have more playmakers. Our offensive and defensive lines have both gotten better. The middle of our defense certainly has gotten better. The back end we've got guys who are more proven, like Shaq and Robinson Daniel and Arjun and guys like that maybe are a little bit more proven than the guys that last dressed for us. And so we can look at this and we look at some playmakers on the offensive side of the ball, especially in that receiving core. And then two quarterbacks, not just Nick, who is, our proposed starter, but we also have McLeod Bethel Thompson and got him back and leading. He led the league in passing yards in 2019.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. So there are some real positives and some things that we're encouraged about, but the reality is we've got a new front office, myself included in that. We've got a new head coach, and there's a ton of new players, and so we're going to have to come together a little bit quicker than I think we would have hoped. But my goodness. TGIF. Thank God it's football.
Oh, yeah. The rest will sort itself out. Our comments are going off like a slot machine here, all of them. Oh, boy. Like a pinball machine, my producer just said. From Troy in Toronto, pinball's my favorite Argo of all time, not because of his on-field excellence, but because of his off-field heroics. What a gentleman. While his on-field exploits were gargantuan, off-field even more. Hall of Famer in every regard. From Ryan in New York. Love pinball. His energy and passion would want to make anyone run through a brick wall. Arlen Bruce III. Yeah, Arlen Bruce III is watching. He says, "This is our league." Have you sensed?
My God.
Yeah, he watches every day. He watches every single day. Are you seeing how?
Oh, my good. Can you just give him the biggest virtual hug for me?
You just did. You just did.
Oh, my. Wow, I love that man.
He just said, Arlen says, "I believe Toronto Argonauts will be in the 2021 Grey Cup. Just saying, I would take a bullet for pinball," says Arlen Bruce III. So there you go. And by the way, somebody was talking to me this week about your head coach, Ryan Dinwiddie. You know what they said? They said, this guy is all class, and he's going to be successful. And I said, you're not telling me nothing. I don't know. I've known the guy since 2007, but I'm guessing every single day, Pinner, you're seeing why you hired this guy as your head coach.
And we can speak to his character. And I think, as you mentioned that, I think people have met him. But to see him in his working environment, this is his element. As a kid, he was telling the story about his dad was a football coach. And so he was born on the field. And one day he actually got zipped up in the ball bag. I mean, that's his father wouldn't want that story duplicated too many times, but he has grown up with it, and he absolutely loved it, and is just one of the hardest working guys that I've seen. Between John Murphy and Ryan, the level of work, the level of discipline, the level of regimen, these guys have challenged me. And so I'm just so proud that we chose a young guy who deserved the opportunity. For me, my thoughts going in were to actually get someone who could stabilize the franchise, someone who was more proven, who had more miles on him, and his interview just blew me away. His charisma further to that. His charisma is one of conviction and authenticity, right? He's got conviction about who he is and what he can do in this game of football, and there's a realness about him, right? He is an inspiring guy, but he's not the most inspiring guy I've been. But he may be the most authentic guy that I've been around. So I'm just really excited about him, really excited for him, and really proud that he is our head coach.
I could tell me this, Pinball, if you agree, but I just don't think you can have too many leaders, because you kind of just described yourself in a way. But Dinner and just the guys that you have in that coaching staff and the players I know, I don't think you could have too many leaders. Would you agree?
You're absolutely right about that. And the reality is that we all lead in some way, whether we know it or not. We are leading, and not all positively. So you're right. You're absolutely right. You can't have enough leaders, but we need to punctuate that by saying that you can never have enough great leaders, and even good leaders, and even leaders that are on the plus side of 500. Right? If we can get everybody on the other side, we have a winning recipe.
Listen, I know you don't have a lot of time left, but I want to ask you this about what appears to be a blueprint to have local players. Like Dejan Brissett is a regular viewer of this show, supports everything we do. All those Toronto area guys, you got a lot, right? Was that obviously was by design. When did you guys come up with that idea?
So that was by design. We spoke of that. But I really want to thank John Murphy for executing on that. He is just a real leader in our room. And, I tell our guys all the time, if you're the smartest guy in the room, it's your own fault. Right. So we are special as a group. It is our collection of abilities, our collection of talents. And so as we looked at, there are some things that we identify in guys at different positions as well. We have things that we are looking for. We're very intentional about what we're looking for. And in Ryan Dinwiddie, we found that guy, right? We were looking for a guy not only who had character, but that was passionate, that understood the game, that knew the game, that committed himself and dedicated himself to the game. And he would be able to lead by example as a head coach. And so in every facet of what we're doing, we're trying to replicate that. And so having those guys who are local, who are part of the community, are so important. And, the difficult thing is that you can't, keep them all, right? So we brought Natea J back, and this off season, right? He ended up going to Montreal, and because we had actually gotten another local guy, and so with that, we are consistently trying to reinforce the things that are important to us, and Canadian talent, and not only that, local Canadian talent is extremely important to our process and what we're trying to accomplish.
The one I forgot was Juwan Brescison. I love that kid. I can't wait to see him out on the field balling in 82 for Toronto. Pinball, I will let you go. Anything else you got for the viewers before you get back to your day?
Yes, I do. And for the viewers, and I know your viewers are national, but I know your core is in what is my second favorite province. Of Saskatchewan, and has always been, you had a young player who was a defensive back that every once in a while would guard me, and he was about my height too. He was only a couple of inches taller than I am, and you probably know who I'm talking about by now. But he was always the rider that at the end of the year, where you pick the most popular rider, and he's a defensive coordinator in our league right now. You probably know him.
I was going to say, I was thinking Richie Hall. I'm like, you talking about Pine?
So he was such a fine gentleman, and the way I saw the community embrace him is the way that I hope that I would be embraced. I'm just thankful for your province and what it means to our game, the commitment, and we can say that it's the only professional team in the province, right? The reality is it is the center. It is the most important thing, not because it's the only team, but because you've made it so. And so our league owes you so much. And I look forward to coming out there, although I think I've lost more times out there than I've won. But I really look forward to coming out and hopefully seeing you. And you are a foundational piece of our league and its success.
I'll tell you what, Pinner, thank you. And by the way, it's September 17th because Chucky was in here the other day. He's got it circled, right? But when you talk about Richie Hall, oof, they don't make him better than they do not make him better than that guy. And you can imagine how jacked people are to have CFL back, Pinner. So look, thanks again. I appreciate it. Thanks for the kind words. We'll see you soon.
Absolute pleasure. Okay, thank you. We'll see you on the field. All right.
Mike Pinball Clemons joining us. And I'm wondering how long conversations are between Pinball and John Murphy. Woo-hoo! Could you imagine? He almost fell off his chair. Did he? Okay. We'll be right back with a sports update and viewer takeover. We got Paul LaPolice coming up next hour. It's the RP Show on Game Plus TV. YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Well, when I first started playing, the scholarship was so important to me. I was working 2 jobs. I was working at a gas station, and I used to actually line the field for the team to get paid just to make some extra money.
I think for me, the opportunities that the scholarships provide is very important, or very specifically the stress it alleviates for myself.
The Rams give me the opportunity to buy everything that I need to get the best grades that I can, and that'll lead to me getting hopefully the best job that I can in the future.
There wasn't a scholarship opportunity with the Rams. I know that life would have been a lot more difficult for myself. I'm not too sure exactly how much longer I would have been able to play beyond my first year.
With the opportunity that they provided for me to go through school with the financial support and with the opportunity to continue to play football, now that I look back on it, it was the most important thing in my life.
Capital is Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalgmc.ca to see how we roll and to learn what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's exactly what you'll get when you choose Capital GMC, Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Welcome back, everybody. As we roll, I got sponsor reads like this long, right? You know that because you're part of this.
Of course. That means times are good.
Yeah, we're rolling. I guess we'll do the Direct West thing a little later.
Yeah.
How about Manscaped? I just want to say this. I don't want to freak anybody out on a Flame Tech Football Friday. But can I just say Manscaped loves us vis-a-vis you because they continue to renew their contract with us, right? And it's better every time, if I can just say. So thank you for supporting Manscaped because it's keeping us on the air. We got a note here from Jesse Granger. You know Jesse Granger from the Athletic Las Vegas. He covers the Golden Knights. Apparently at the morning skate today, the Golden Knights had a line of Mark Stone, Max Pacioretty, and Alex Tuck.
Oh, boy.
It's over. It's over. Dun, dun, dun. Stone 6'4", Tuck 6'4", Patch is 6'2", 210. It's over. What? We're going to run them out of the rink tonight.
Unbelievable.
3-1 Vegas.
And then when they're finished skating laps around, then they'll throw Reeves on the ice, and it'll really be over.
It's kind of funny to me that Ryan Reeves and Keegan Kolazar can have as big of that they can keep up in this series. They couldn't last year in the was it the Dallas? They couldn't keep up. But
right.
This series is good for them. Just got to go out and win tonight at Centre Bell. Speaking of hockey, Braden Point kept up his scoring touch with a tie-breaking goal late in the second period as the Tampa Bay Lightning beat the Islanders 2-1 in Stanley Cup playoff action. The Lightning now up 2-1. Somebody wrote in earlier and asked what we thought about the officiating in the game, and I just think, why did I even talk about it earlier this week? Why do we talk about it at all? They're probably well into round 2 of the U.S. Open, eh?
Yes.
Yeah. Can you look up who's leading? I'll just read this paragraph here. The opening round of the U.S. Open was suspended due to darkness with 36 players left on the course. Russell Henley shot a 4-under 67 in the morning wave. He was tied with Louis Oosthuizen.
Close.
Who will have to play his final 2 holes in the morning. Who's leading now?
Louis Oosthuizen is 1 over today. He's in second. Tee for second. But Henley hasn't teed off yet. Still 4 under. 2 under in the day, Richard Bland from England. He's 2 under today and moved right up.
How about that?
Yeah.
The Milwaukee Bucks. The Milwaukee Bucks have forced a decisive 7th game in their NBA Eastern Conference semifinal with the Brooklyn Nets. Chris Middleton scored 38 as the Bucks beat the Nets 104-89 in Milwaukee. Game 7 goes Saturday in Brooklyn in this Homer series. I'll be watching that one. Giancarlo Stanton hit a go-ahead homer in a 4-run 7th inning, and the New York Yankees pulled off a wacky triple play in an 8-4 win over the reeling Blue Jays. The win completed a 3-game sweep for New York. It was the first ever in the history of Major League Baseball. I had to write it down. 1-3-6-2-5-6 triple play, and it was all because of base-running brain farts by the Toronto Blue Jays last night. Jose Altuve homered for the 4th time in 3 games. Michael Brantley and Abraham Toro also connected, and the Houston Astros beat the Chicago White Sox 10-2. I just felt the need to tell you that. This sports update for the Tap Brew House and Drive-Thru Liquor Store and for Red Bull Canada. Red Bull gives you wings. Ray in the 6 writes in, Kitchener, Ontario area. He says, hi, Rod. You have to take the good with the bad with these young Jays. It's a process, but the base running issues are hard to watch. At the end of the day, brighter days are ahead for this team. And he goes on to say, love seeing Pinball. He's a good ambassador for the CFL. Devin in Regina says, Pinball is a great man. He should have been a Saskatchewan Rough Rider. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. You know who gave him the nickname Pinball?
Who?
Bob Obilovich.
Really?
His head coach, his first ever head coach in Toronto. He's
Very
like, that little
cool.
guy jumps around like a pinball.
Ding, ding, ding.
That's
ding,
where
ding,
that
ding.
came from.
He's pretty good.
Okay. We'll jump into viewer takeover. We've only got a couple minutes in this segment. We can come back for more. I should update the poll question, which I don't think I dabbled in it. You have it? Okay. The poll question for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center is, who will have more passing yards in 2021? Cody Fajardo or Bo Levi Mitchell? What are they saying on Facebook, Moose?
62% are going with Fajardo.
Come on. That's the exact same thing on Twitter.
Oh, wow.
The exact same thing. 62% for Cody. And I'm kind of teetering on the fence going, people in BC are writing in and going, Mike Riley. Mandy in Edmonton has refused to vote on the pool because she's taken it as a personal affront to Elks quarterback Trevor Harris. And I just think, is this funny, good-natured joshing, or is it knickers in a knot? You know? And maybe we won't even do CFL polls then if you guys aren't going to take them seriously and get upset about them. How about that?
How about that?
Maybe we could talk about who's going to lead the Tennessee Titans in receiving this year. Is that what you'd like? Like, are they being good-natured about it, or are they not? It's like us saying, who would win a playoff series between the Leafs and Oilers, and the Winnipeggers chime in and say, what about the Jets? We're not talking about the Jets. We're talking about the Leafs and the Oilers, okay? We're not talking about Trevor Harris. We're not talking about Mike Riley. We're talking about Bo Levi Mitchell and Cody Fajardo, which I think the last time around Cody threw for more, did he not? Which would have earned him the nod as the West Division most outstanding player.
That's right. Yeah, I think they were 1-2. I'm pretty sure they were 1-2 the last time they were.
Let's go to the big board.
But let's go to the big board. You know, and if they were 1-2, then it just further backs up why we have them in the poll. So we'll find out right away.
Mandy wasn't paying attention earlier.
Okay.
She says, I'm going to vote for Bo over your one-hit wonder, Fajardo. She's in a particularly punchy mood today. Wouldn't you say, Moose?
Yeah. But that's a good thing.
Here's the thing. As we were discussing the other day, I was fearful of a sophomore jinx for Cody Fajardo. But as my guy, Mike Lee, Mydale Mike said, oil man down there, he said his sophomore jinx, they didn't play at all in 2020 in his second season. So it's over. Couldn't get worse than that.
That's right.
So there is no sophomore jinx. So Cody Fajardo led the Canadian Football League in passing in 2019 with 4,302 yards. Guess who was number 2?
In the league?
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't Bo.
Our boy Trevor Harris.
How about that?
Number 3, Macbeth, who incidentally led the CFL in touchdown
I feel like I'm watching the NFL draft and like the top prospects just falling pick by pick.
Here they are. Here's the top 5 in passing. Cody Fajardo. The last time we saw these guys, Cody Fajardo number 1, Trevor Harris number 2, Macbeth number 3, Vernon Adams number 4, Mike Riley number 5. Woo! We need dig a hole to look for Bo. He only played 11 games. I know. If you looked at average yards per game, he'd be right up there. Listen, I get it. If you control, so can I. Let's come back for viewer takeover. And we got Paul LaPolice coming up in hour 2. He's got his work cut out from the top pinball because he really buttered us up out here.
Did he ever?
We'll be right back. You're watching the RP Show's Flame Tech Football Friday on YouTube and Facebook Live and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Ultimate Fan Zone, taking our show on the road coast to coast. Shop online, ultimatefanzone.ca. Slick, user-friendly. We built this site for the die-hard sports fans. Jerseys, hats, team apparel, offering officially licensed fan gear from the best lines in sports. Nike, New Era, Adidas, Fanatics. Game day ready to your door. Now, just a click away, ultimatefanzone.ca, or check us out on Facebook and Instagram. UFZ Downtown Moose Jaw, home of everything authentic.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Send us your opinions now. We won't victimize you unless you really deserve it. Now, back to your host, Rod Pedersen.
Hey, everybody, we got about 6 full minutes here to go back and forth with the two of us. Moose Dupont here. It is viewer takeover. Mm-hmm. We're going to be talking about Grey Cup odds a little later on for our friends at Come On Official. I see the reminder on the screen that the Prairie Mobile text line is open, 306-840-8777. So drop us a line if you don't mind. It's the last day that we're not on national television. I find it infinitely tickling that all the hate mail that's been coming into us that we've been forwarding to Game Plus is from hockey people across the country. Where are the football people at?
I know. Get on it.
I think they're all watching streaming.
Well, yeah, they figured it out pretty quick, right? If they were not on, they moved to YouTube.
By the way, our guy Zig Fracassi from SiriusXM NFL Radio is tweeting us. I don't know if you saw that or not, but there was a video of a tornado that touched down in Saskatchewan. And Zig wrote us. Did I mention from NFL Radio? Did I mention that? I can't remember. And he said, Rod, was this anywhere near you guys? Well, of course it was. It's Saskatchewan. We're near everything. But the tornadoes come all the time. I never did tell you about the time in 1982 when a tornado knocked our barn down. And just so you know, our barn, I think it's the second largest barn in southern Saskatchewan, the second largest. It's the size of a hockey rink. And so 1982, I was 9. Storm's coming, tornado, you can see it moving across the prairies. And Dad's like, get in the basement, get in the basement. Right? It was like this movie tornado.
Yeah.
Into the basement we went. And the tornado hit the barn, just like that. I didn't see it because I was in the basement. Yeah, with my brothers. But Dad saw it, and the cleanup was massive. Just take you out to the farm sometime.
Yeah, absolutely should.
You've seen photos of that barn.
I've seen photos of the barn.
It's the size of a hockey rink.
It's insane, and I can't imagine, a tornado ripping through there. But there's been some really cool photos of tornadoes in Saskatchewan in the last few days.
My brother's probably watching now. Lee, got any photos? I'm telling you, that was a massive cleanup. I never did. Oh, by the way, Zig says he's waiting for his RP show swag. I take him Rough Rider stuff. Now he wants RP stuff. What am I going to get?
We'll send a return address when we ship it out.
He gave me a tour of Sirius XM Radio in downtown in Manhattan, the Howard Stern studio. It was amazing. I guess that's what I got. He gave me a tour. Never mind, I'll shut up.
Okay.
Never did ask Pinball about cutting vets that aren't in shape, which I said I was going to. That was a big topic from the warm-up. Craig Dickinson saying we're going to have to let some guys go that aren't in game shape. And just another thing that I guess people don't understand in this business, fans, that just because you are in shape and can run 45 minutes on the treadmill doesn't mean you're in shape to go out on a football field. Or that you can bench press 500 pounds, but you don't have the wind to run up and down the field. Like people don't seem to understand that, Darren.
Right. No, they don't. And Craig's message to that matter is, I know he mentioned the off season, and Blue kind of said, well, it's not the off season. It's a year and a half of, needing to provide for your families and things like that. But the fact of the matter is we can't put people on the field that aren't in shape to play. So you have to find a way to get yourself into game shape, whether that happens in camp, whether you can kind of ramp it up now. But it'll be a surprise and a shock for some players that aren't ready to go. And unfortunately, that's tough because it's an unenviable position to be in. Needing to make money, provide for your families, not having facilities maybe to work out in that are the same.
I'm shocked that Luke Mullender would take issue as much as he did with what Craig Dickinson said, because Luke, of all people, would know this is a cruel, cruel, cold business. It just is. What Dickinson saying, that did not shock me at all. I knew that was the thing. If you're not in shape, hit the bricks. Anyways, we'll kick off with more of that in hour 2, because it is a Flame Tech Football Friday, and Paul LaPolice coming up after this break.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Ford Lincoln, we don't just sell vehicles, we buy them too. You know how we always have such a big inventory with an amazing selection? That's because we buy all makes, all models, and all years. We're going to give you the best price every time. And you don't even have to buy from us. All you have to do is visit us online or in-store, answer a few questions about your vehicle, and we'll get you a great offer. We'll even cut you a check on the same day. So save yourself the hassles of selling privately and sell it to us. Because at Capital Ford Lincoln, we'll buy it.
Stars, you're dispatched to a scene call. Patient has multiple traumatic injuries and is unconscious but breathing.
This is why I backed the Stars lottery.
Stars, we can accept the mission.
This is why I'm all in.
Mission accepted. Have a safe flight.
The prizes are great. The cause is critical.
Stars Lottery, the lottery on a mission. Every ticket is your chance to win over $4.2 million in prizes. Buy yours at starslottery.ca or 1-844-STARS-SK.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming, the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Right now.
Here we go. The breaking news. The CFL Board of Governors votes unanimously to begin a shortened 14-game season on August 5th.
How about that?
We're going ahead. We're opening training camp. We're going to kick off August 5th. They're doing what's best for the league. They're doing what's best for the game. They're doing what's best for their players and staff. They're moving ahead. So bravo to him.
This
Just right
is
there.
the
It's right there.
Rod Pedersen Show.
Right there. Brad Speed. Welcome. Hi. Thanks, Moose. Going through so much water here, and I left it on the coffee table.
I was on
You're a good man.
I was on my phone. I thought you wanted the text line. So I'm going to run to the office and get the text line.
I just left my...
You've got it already. Mm-hmm. Or do I need to get that too?
I got everything.
Okay,
I'm good now, thanks to you. How about that?
That's what I'm here for.
It's a Flame Tech Football Friday. We got some time here to settle in and have some fun, which we've been having a lot of fun. But Pinball Clemons was with us, the general manager of the Toronto Argonauts, last hour. And I'm telling you, I think the Argos are my team. I've always loved their gear since I was just a wee lad. The two-tone blue, and my buddies are all there. Murph, Chucky, some of the coaches. That's where all the Jones guys went, for the most part.
Right.
Talking CFL football for pretty much 2 straight hours, although this is the second half kickoff for the Four Seasons Sports Palace. It is a tremendous sports on TV night, by the way. Vegas Golden Knights at Montreal tonight at 6 p.m. Toronto Blue Jays at Baltimore at 5:05. See if they can snap a 4-game slide. And then 2 in the NBA, elimination games. 76ers at Hawks and Jazz at Clippers. So you're going to order a pizza, right, from the Four Seasons? Of course you are, for all the right reasons. And an hour ago in the warm-up, we talked about hockey and all that. We're going to stick to football here in the second half kickoff because that's what we do. People writing in with suggestions. Thanks for the LaPolice interview. And they're good suggestions, by the way. But a big topic here that I didn't expect would be as big as it has turned out to be is Craig Dickinson, the Rough Riders coach, telling the media yesterday that there's some vets that are not going to be in shape and they're going to have to be cut. Sorry. Jeff, the Stamps fan, says Craig Dickinson was likely just trying to light a fire under the vets. But here's the thing about Dickie, and we've spent a ton of time talking about stuff that's not even football. Like, I know that guy really, really well. Craig Dickinson is Jim Carrey in Liar Liar. He cannot tell a lie. And as a matter of fact, when he's going into a scrum or an interview, he's like, don't ask me about this because I won't talk about it. Or I don't want to talk about it. Right?
That's what he has to say. I don't want to talk about it.
Well, but when the camera's on, he is going to say what he thinks and the truth 100% of the time. So the idea of lighting the fire, I get what you're saying, Jeff, the Stamps fan, but I think Craig Dickinson was liar, not lying, can't tell a lie, saying, no, if you're not in shape, if you're not the best player on the field, you're gone. I don't care that you've played in this league 9 years and you've been an all-star and you had to work to feed your family for the last year. Sorry. He wasn't pulling the leg on that.
That's right.
And so Luke Mullender, the current Riders color commentator, took issue with Dickinson for saying that. It's all on Twitter. Go have a look there. Wayne in Victoria writes in on the Prairie Mobile text line. He says, I wanted to ask you about why you haven't had Luke Mullender on the show, but thought maybe he's not allowed to be on your show. I don't know. Ask them. He's one of my best friends. Have we asked him, Clark? I don't think we have. Okay. He says maybe once. From Derek Lafreni, he says, I think Coach was speaking truthfully, even though we don't like it. It's just facts, and the facts suck. Yes, thanks, Derek. You said it more eloquently than me. If I said it late last hour, it's a cold, harsh business. And that's why I'm not interested in getting back into it, because it's cold for everybody. Dickie was telling the truth. From Corey DeTavio in Winnipeg, he says, truth hurts some people. Some people? That's why I love the recovery business so much, because I call it the truth business. You got to get in people's face and tell them the truth. If you want to make them make a positive change in their lives, you come from sports and entertainment. No, you can't say the truth. You'll get your head cut off. Truth. When I first started working with the military, did I ever tell you this? They said, we have two sayings here, Rod. Never lie and no man gets left behind. And I'm like, oh thank God. I didn't know that was possible. What do you mean? I come from a world where it's always lie and every man for himself for my whole life. Military, totally different. You got your life in the guy's hands next to you. That's real stuff.
Kind of how we operate around here.
Absolutely.
Right?
We don't lie to each other. Jeff in Toronto says, Jeff Cabillas in Winnipeg says, the business of football, the story continues. Yeah, none of this is new. The pandemic didn't cause any of this. I think you all are just getting reminded of it because you haven't had CFL football for a year and a half. Troy in Toronto from Sober Athletic Wear says, come on to the dark side, Rod. Toronto Argo fans will welcome you all day long. Yeah, I think is that what we're doing here? That's my team. What do you think?
I could get into it. Although, it'd be really hard. I mean, where we're from, still love, green's still my favorite color. I was born here, right? Mm-hmm. Raised here, been to the games, but I've always liked the Argos. Clearly I like those colors.
I think I told you that story when Sean Lemon got traded. And he literally crossed the hall. He got traded by the Riders on the week that they were playing the Argos. So Lemon just stayed in Regina and just suited up on the other side of the hall. And we were scrumming him, and he was in this Argos beautiful Adidas shirt. And I'm just like, oh, I want that so bad. But I'm working for the other team.
Their gear's
so nice.
So great.
What else we got going on here?
Like if you hit the wide shot, Jordan, like our colors just match up.
You asked me what colors I wanted
two-tone.
When we started this show.
Yeah. And it had nothing, like I asked you, like it just happened that we have pseudo Tennessee Titans colors, Toronto Argos colors, a little different, but they look great. And you know what they say, like blue is the best color. And it came to me in fashion. If you can only buy one suit, if your closet only has one suit, it should be navy blue. A dark navy blue. Not black. Navy blue.
That's the truth. Tom Geiger watching, and he said, Luke is hilarious in person and a straight-up guy. Would love to see him on the show, but Rod, you know the corporate control. Riders may not want him to totally speak his mind. Really? I never thought about that. From Tacona Powley in Winnipeg. Sorry, Rod. There's only one Blue Bombers.
I love how he does that.
So do I.
Do you think like he's got an old keyboard and his D keys just jammed in there, you know, and it just accidentally, just by default?
That is so annoying, by the way, when the key gets stuck.
Yeah.
Because you're in there with a paring knife, or at least I am.
Trying to pop it back.
Yeah, trying to pop it back, but not too much.
Yeah.
Jen at the Four Seasons, she says, I love blue. Oiler blue. Well, on any given day, you're going to see me wearing blue. It is by far, far, far my favorite color. Troy in Toronto says, Darren, please come along too. You'd look good in double blue. I'd be afraid for your lives being Saskatchewan boys. It's okay. We can handle it. As a matter of fact, I received a death threat last night from an Eastern Canadian market. I hope they're watching right now, so they know my reaction. And the death threat actually came into you, not to me. Why do you think they did that?
I'm really not sure.
I'm not sure. But anyways, another death threat. Add it to the pile. And if you really want to kill me, come do it. Because I'd rather die than live in fear of you. And that's the truth. Let's talk about some more fun things, okay? Well, just to think about changing allegiances, Mark Mueller, quarterbacks coach with the Calgary Stampeders, his mom, Lana, who is the daughter of Ron Lancaster, I said to her one time, Lana, how do you just switch allegiances so easily? What do you mean, switching from green to red? How do you do that? And she goes, it's a lot easier than you think, was her answer. And so I tried it. It is a lot easier than you think. You stuck with your Leafs and your Titans.
For sure,
stuff,
but it's as easy as changing your shirt, right? If you really want to. But all it involves is going to a game, being in the environment, and you'll quickly grow an attachment because every team can be great, right? But you got to get involved. And if you get to a game and you wear the colors and you have some fun and lo and behold, your team wins, literally in one afternoon, you could be hooked for life.
Speaking of getting people hooked, just one more from Troy in Toronto. He says, taking their listeners? Everybody wants to know where the death threat came from. I'm not going to get into that, but it's on his phone. You have it. You better screenshot that.
Delete it.
In case we... Did you delete it?
No, I didn't delete it.
No, screenshot it. Anyways...
I better start telling somebody my password to my phone.
In case you don't show up one day?
So when I don't show up, they can get into my phone.
Again, had lots of death threats in my day. Not too worried. Listen, the Grey Cup odds are out from Come On. CFL Grey Cup 2021 futures odds. Come On Canada is our official betting partner. So this is how much you get back if you bet $10. If you bet $10 and the Hamilton Tiger Cats win the Grey Cup, you'll win 40. Saskatchewan Roughriders win the Grey Cup, they'll win 55. I'm going in order of odds here. Ticats 1, Riders 2, Blue Bombers 3, tied with the Calgary Stampeders, each a $60 win for you if you place a $10 wager at Come On. The Elks and the Lions, $100 comes your way. Alouettes, $120. REDBLACKS, $130. And the Toronto Argonauts, $150. You heard me right. They're the 9th-ranked team in the Canadian Football League from our Come On official odds, the Toronto Argonauts. So I'm doing it today. I'm dropping $10 on that. Well, to win 150.
No, and I will. And we heard Pinball come on, and there's a look at the graphic with all the different odds. Hamilton's the favorite. You picked Hamilton to win the Grey Cup.
I did. Oh, they forgot about that.
And I picked Toronto. So I look at what Pinball said when he was on here, and you look at the Argos up on the screen. They've got that tough schedule. 7 games. Half their season is against either the 2 teams that finished first or the team that won the Grey Cup. So that's really tough, like a really tough schedule, which is why those odds go where they are. So I'm looking at the Argos being like, look at I think they're better than that. They don't have a lot of time to figure it out because if they, have a struggle to start the season, they'll be in trouble. But I think there's some teams there that are feeling pretty confident that you should put some money on them.
Now is the time to lay that futures bet at ComeOn.com. Come On Official, our official betting partner. You were saying this before we even had Pinner on the air, that they got the worst schedule in the CFL. I mean, I haven't looked, I'll be honest, at anybody's schedule. How you knew that, I'm not sure. Did you peruse everybody's schedule?
Well, I looked at the Argos schedule because I picked them to win the Grey Cup. I said, what's this going to look like? And I'm like, oh boy, Hamilton, Winnipeg. Like, it's tough. Really tough, a little bit unbalanced, and then there's teams that won't even play each other. Mm-hmm. But it's tough. You got to manage schedules, you got to manage stadium availabilities, you got to manage all of that, bye weeks and whatnot. So it's not easy coming up with schedules and then doing that in short order too.
Yeah, and the other thing for the Argos, and Pinball would agree, and for sure Ryan Didwoody, because this is the kind of guy that he is, they want to play the best, right? That's the measuring stick. Yeah, you want to womp on weaklings in the regular season, but ask the Leafs how that worked out, right? When you come up against the best.
Well, look at the Argos. If they come through this and they have success against Hamilton and they have some success against Winnipeg and they have success against these other teams, they're going to be battle tested. So you're not going to want to meet them in the playoffs. You're not going to want to meet them down the stretch. Now, if they come into the buzzsaw and fold, then all of a sudden they are the 9th place team because you might not be able to overcome half a season if you're not on top of your game.
Well, that was a fun segment for Come On Official, our official betting partner. Paul LaPolice joins us next, the head coach of the Ottawa REDBLACKS. You're watching the RP Show, Game Plus TV, YouTube and Facebook, live daily and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Comfort has always been something we as people strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Our parents always taught us about the importance of quality of work and friendly service. And here at Suds Car Wash, we're a family-run business, so it's really important that our customers feel like family.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Direct West has been the bridge for me from not dealing with social media or digital presence to having a presence. You have to take the leap of faith, so to say, and I'm glad we have. Direct West has helped us out immensely to get our presence online as far as digitally and also with the social media page. To see the results is just puts a smile on your face.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Laid back and kicking it. Let's head back to the studio. Here's Rod.
Welcome back, everybody. Flame Tech Football Friday continues, and as they said, it's a Hall of Fame guest list today. We had Mike Pinball Clemons in hour one, and the head coach of the Ottawa REDBLACKS lined up from the nation's capital here in hour two. I'm just getting my sports update ready to go here. Moose is with me. If you got questions for Lapo, fire them at us. Prairie Mobile text line or through the YouTube, Facebook feed. And let's go. Let's head to the nation's capital. Coach, I really appreciate you finding the time here because I know how frantic it must be, but you're playing ball, Lapo. Were you ever worried that you weren't going to be?
No, I think always we thought we were going to play. And, the hectic time now is like we've done so much work preparing. Now you're trying to go, all right, do I have everything organized at the house because you've been procrastinating? Oh, my God, I'm going to disappear for months now, right? So that's kind of what what's going on at our household.
You know what that reminds me of is Etch. He used to go, bill collectors love me during the season because his mailbox is overflowing with bills, right, and stuff because you can't do anything.
Yeah, absolutely. I can remember working in Saskatchewan and after a season, you go wash the car for the first time in 8 months, right? It's just crazy, how everything stops during football.
Well, that's good. This is what you want. Listen, I got to ask you, the viewers want me to ask you this. A comment that Dickie said got him in a little heat. He said, vets that aren't in shape, probably going to get cut. Sorry. And Luke Mullender took issue with that. What's your status on going into training camp with guys that haven't been able to train up to what they normally would?
Well, I think you're going to evaluate where your team is. I mean, if there's a veteran who's got some talented players behind him that have some experience, yeah, I think that could be a problematic spot if they didn't do any work in the offseason. But I think every team's different where you're, some people are going to be more secure, some people aren't. It's just, it's the nature of the beast. You can't be in this business and not be comfortable with change. And the players have to understand that they're always trying to, clubs are always trying to get better, and they're always competing for their spots on a weekly basis. Dickie comes out and says that's usually what happens in pro football. So that's
So what I was saying, it's not new. I think we're just being reminded of the harshness of this business that you're in. But by the way, you must have saw the quote from Willie Jefferson the other day that says, "Oh, Ottawa doesn't want to play us, eh?" What was your reaction to that?
I love Willie. Whatever. Hey, we can't control the schedule. We'll play who we get to play. And, obviously I got a lot of friends in that organization and that place. It's been neat to go back there and see everybody, but not in the cards. So, no, and we are not afraid of playing Willie and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. So hopefully we see him down the stretch.
I don't think you're afraid of anybody, and I know that. But how are you feeling about the weapons at your disposal and your roster here as you get ready for training camp?
Yeah, what's kind of interesting going through it is you're going to have a little bit more early on. Normally, to go to camp with 100 guys, you've got to plan how you're going to do it with 100 guys. And, we've added some pieces that we think can help us at spots. We've got to get help on defense, and Cleon Lang does that. Don Yanumba, we felt was a good ad for the on offense. Obviously, one of the keys for us was getting better quarterback play in the building, and Matt Nichols certainly does that for us.
You have that history with Matt Nichols, so where do you see him in the progression of his career, Lapo? You know him incredibly well. Is he anywhere near the top of his potential, do you think?
Well, I think that the neat thing about, some people talk about, it's great to see you develop this guy or this guy. Sometimes developing guys is not a lot of fun, right? They go through, bad games. They are inconsistent, everything. And so the nice thing about Matt is, like, he understands what wins football games. He understands how we want to go about winning football games. And he certainly has played very good football and, has won a lot of football games. So, and I do think at times, because we ran the ball so well in 19, and in 18, that he doesn't get as much credit because we were doing so many other great things with that. But he certainly, in, I believe, 2017, was one of the top throwers in the league and, was outstanding in the team that led the league in scoring. So every year is different. We expect him to be able to do whatever we need to do to win football games.
You talk about the backfield, and Andrew Harris, nobody's ever won Grey Cup, MOP, MVP, and top Canadian ever. So there's that feather in his cap. But what do you, refresh us, what do you got in your backfield there? Crockett, who else?
No, we have Akeem Hunt, is a guy from Purdue, just an outstanding speed guy, spent some time in the NFL. And then we have Timothy Flanders, if you guys remember, from who spent some time with us in Winnipeg, was on and off the roster, actually played some slot for us, was Andrew's backup. But with the ratio, it was somebody we had to move on from, and just an outstanding football player and a great person. So, we feel comfortable there with those two guys, guys that we think a good young player and a guy who's got some experience in our system. And when he played for Andrew, he's dynamic.
Well, while we're at it, let's just go through a few other positions. You mentioned Matt Nichols. Who else is in your quarterback room?
We have Dom Davis, who is, obviously with me before and been in, and we'll give Dom a good opportunity to come in and compete. We have a kid named Terrence Christian from South Dakota. It's not South Dakota, that was Streva, South Dakota State, and had a great college career. So he's been in our organization, about a year now. And we also signed a kid named Chase Litton from Marshall to be another guy to compete. So, yeah, we'll let these guys come in and try. We've tried to have as many meetings we can to get these guys ahead of the game, and but now we'll let the bullets fly with the quarterbacks when we get them in here.
Sorry to go back, but I don't know where you are on a two-quarterback system, but the 2019 season, Lapo, I'm sure you – well, we think it's your greatest job of coaching ever. I don't know what you think. You didn't want to have to rotate all those quarterbacks, but you did. I mean, will you ever go through a situation like that? I mean, ideally, Matt Nichols takes every snap all year, I would think, or do you like to rotate in a second guy?
Well, first of all, people will talk about a rotation. The reason Chris Streveler, let's say Matt Nichols played every play of the season, Chris Streveler would have played, and we, certainly after a quarterback sneak, we would have put Streveler in the game and kept him in the game. But you're going to do that if you have a player who you're so impressed with and he's going to step on the field and make plays. Now, Streveler ran a 4.40. It was 215 pounds, so you don't get that often. So we knew that's a guy, let's get him the ball. Now, if your backup quarterbacks aren't like him, yeah, you're maybe not. I don't think you want to take your starter out of the game if he's the best quarterback. He's the guy, that you want to keep touching the ball. So, Chris was in a unique situation, and we were fortunate enough to, be able to get him some snaps. And the three quarterbacks, I have not been through that a lot, but hopefully we don't have to do that.
Are you looking at Dom Davis as a third down guy, or what role do you see for him?
I've always said this, and I know some people have lived in the world of, all right, you have to have a quarterback sneak guy, or you have to have that change up to your starter. I think it's so hard in the Canadian Football League to develop the next guy that I try not to live in that world. People say, well, you had Streveler. Well, that's because we felt he could be a starter in the Canadian Football League. So, it's you get a starter. We like some athletic ability and running ability in our starter, so hopefully that comes into the building naturally. But I would say it's not something we're just saying we have to have a mobile guy to do that. But Dom Davis has done some of that stuff for us before.
Interesting, by the way, you mentioned Streveler. He's still in Arizona. They just cut, I think, their third-string quarterback. He's still there. So, we're all pulling for him. And I know we talked with you about it when he was playing, and we're not thinking about the Arizona Cardinals. We're thinking about the CFL right now. But Daryl in Toronto's watching from the Beneath Sports podcast, and he says, hey, Coach, is there anything you learned from broadcasting that you've brought into coaching? I'd love to hear this answer.
Yeah, I would say this: the first thing that coaching, working in television allowed me to do is it really gave me the ability to have the time to watch every game in the league. So I always had a notebook out, and when a game situation thing came up, I would have been like, okay, I wrote that down. Let me go ahead and talk through this. Let me make sure, I would cover this if this ever happened again. I thought that was the first thing that was pretty neat. Now, how it relates to what did I learn most from dealing with all those guys and those awesome guys, my man Schulte and all those boys. I would say this, that TSN does an outstanding job promoting our game. And there are people who are very passionate about the CFL that work there or work on the CFL at TSN. That's the one thing I really took from 3 years working with those guys. I've always believed media is part of what you have to do to be successful as a league and as successful as a coach. It's part of our job to promote the league. So, I didn't open my eyes in that respect, but it did open my eyes on how there's a lot of passion for our game at the CFL.
Well, you know what? You're right. Those guys love the CFL as much as they love the World Juniors and the NHL and any of their other properties. They hold it right there. You're right. Lapo, just before I let you go, our viewers are it's driving them nuts. They want to know where you're watching from. Or some have said, is he outside TD Place? Is he in a cave? Is he in a park? Where are you joining us from?
Yes, well, Friday is usually for me like I try to help my wife do anything. I do football in the morning. I am outside IKEA for those who don't know. So there's not. I don't think there's an IKEA or Regina. So yeah, I stepped out because I love Rod so much. So I could spend some time with you guys and get ready for the season. Here in Ottawa, we're like I saw some people yesterday. REDBLACKS fans came up and said great things. We're excited to get going. We appreciate all the people where they're putting us at. And, I've been a head coach before in a team in the East, and that was picked last, and we finished first in the East and went to the Grey Cup. So we're just looking forward to getting started and seeing how the whole season plays out and believing, that, we'll be a good team that'll be reckoned.
I lied. One more. Pinball did not hide last hour. He's like, we got a bad schedule. We're playing 7 of our games are against the 2 teams that were in the Grey Cup or whatever it was. He wasn't hiding that going into the season. What's your schedule like? How do you feel about yours?
It's kind of hard to have a bye week in this season, week 2. But not bad for a new staff, I guess. But we have a bye week 2. But I believe we're the only team in the CFL that plays 3 games in 11 days. So that is very difficult, very problematic. And, how do you prepare that way? It gives you, and 2 of them are road games. I know one of them is a back-to-back, but to play back-to-back 5 games within 5 days is very hard on preparation, very hard on the players. So that's kind of the bad apple that showed up for us in the schedule. But whatever, a schedule is a schedule. We got to find a way to win our games, and we will.
Like you say, everybody's got something that they're dealing with. So, Lapo, I appreciate this. Thanks. Please thank Tina for sharing you with us, and good luck. Can't wait to see you on the field.
Awesome, guys. Take care. See you later.
Thank you, buddy. The head coach of the Ottawa REDBLACKS, Paul LaPolice. And as much as we've forgotten kind of who's where in the last year and a half, that's one that just, boom, burned in my brain. Yeah. Lapo, Ottawa. It seems like a really good fit.
No, it does. It does. I think it will be. I think there's a lot of great pieces there. I think he's the right guy for the job. I'm excited to see where it goes. I really, really am. I never would have guessed IKEA.
No, not in a million years.
No, I'm like, oh, that's just, I'm like, we could be at a park. That could be, I'm trying to think of where that is in his house. Is it an awning can? It's some weird architecture. IKEA. Never would have guessed.
Never would have guessed. Should have had a come on bet on that.
Completely off the board.
Well, whoever said outside TD Place, you could kind of see that,
yeah.
Right? Not a thing. All right. Viewer takeover the rest of the way. Got a sports update here. Got some hockey news in it, too. And we might as well ask you now, what would you like us to face off upon? Anything. Moose and I will, there you go, for the Ultimate Fan Zone. Where I got this Jays jersey, by the way. Everybody in this country is crapping all over Canada's blue team. I thought I'd show them some support here, as they've lost 4 in a row going into Baltimore tonight. What would you like us to face off on? Should Charlie Montoyo get fired? Well, Denmark rebound in Euro 2020. My favorite team. after soiling the sheets against Belgium last night. We'll be back. It's Flame Tech Football Friday, Game Plus TV, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Well, when I first started playing, the scholarship was so important to me. Like, I was working 2 jobs. I was working at a gas station, and I used to actually line the field for the team to get paid just to make some extra money.
I think for me, the opportunities that the scholarships provide is very important, or very specifically the stress it alleviates for myself.
The Rams give me the opportunity to buy everything that I need to get the best grades that I can, and that'll lead to me getting hopefully the best job that I can in the future.
There wasn't a scholarship opportunity with the Rams. I know that life would have been a lot more difficult for myself. I'm not too sure exactly how much longer I would have been able to play beyond my first year.
With the opportunity that they provided for me to go through school with the financial support and with the opportunity to continue to play football, now that I look back on it, was the most important thing in my life.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions is Saskatchewan's only full-service supply chain company. Strategic sourcing, PO creation, and order expediting, VMI and vending solutions, and free delivery are just a few of the supply chain services we provide. If your company needs it, Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions can get it for you. Price, quality, service, Rockstar Supply Chain Solution is helping Saskatchewan companies buy better.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Our parents always taught us about the importance of quality of work and friendly service. And here at Suds Car Wash, we're a family-run business, so it's really important that our customers feel like family.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Oh, yeah, he's back. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Paul's here. Hi, Paul. Paul's sitting in Paul's chair.
It's been a while since he's sat in his own chair.
He's a busy guy. He's busy with the farmers.
Like, so long that the groove started to come out of the chair.
Okay. I said viewer takeover would start, and CFL Mel is watching on YouTube with the question of the year so far. Hey, Rod, do you think we'll see any appearances at stadiums from The Rock and or Danny Garcia? Maybe some new camera angles or innovations we haven't seen before? Stop. I can't remember what show I was on the other day, and they had said that there was a rumor that The Rock was going to show up for a game at McMahon Stadium in Calgary, and this year for the Stampeders, and they thought that he'd get booed because, how dare you steal our league? Oh, the XFL sucks.
Be a heel.
Could you imagine if The Rock showed up? You bunch of candy asses. Do I think he will? Not just yet. It's a hell of a question, though. I mean, Danny Garcia could walk around, his ex-wife and partner now with XFL.
We wouldn't know.
We wouldn't know. But The Rock doesn't exactly roll around inconspicuous.
Do you want to face off on this?
In a minute. Let me collect my thoughts.
Okay. Then I'll save mine.
Okay. Sports update. Game 3 of the Stanley Cup semifinal between the Montreal Canadiens and Vegas Golden Knights goes tonight at the Bell Center. The best-of-7 series tied 1-1 after the Habs posted a 3-2 win in Vegas on Wednesday. The Canadiens will be permitted crowds of up to 3,500 fans for this round of the playoffs. In last night's action, Tampa Bay beat the Islanders 2-1. Got that old Golden Knights fan text string going. My buddy here writing, so can they win 2 on the road again like last time? Well, of course. That's the plan. But I did say Vegas in 6. So if they split in Montreal, I'll take it. I mentioned the big news. The Western Hockey League has announced the WHL Board of Governors has agreed to a new 3-year contract extension with WHL Commissioner Ron Robison. Longtime close friend of ours. Born and raised in Indian Head, Sask. Robison joined the WHL as commissioner and CEO prior to the 2000-2001 season. Ooh, boy. Time flies.
Legacy.
Paul, turn your phone down. I'm new here. Guy, don't know how to handle tech? Nope. As he enters his 22nd season, Robison is set to become the longest-serving commissioner in WHL history, surpassing former WHL president Ed Chenoweth, who guided the Dub for 21 seasons. He's passing Mr. Ed.
Wow. When is it going to change? If the trophy ever changes names, they're going to need an award for Robison, named after him.
Absolutely.
They will. It might not be the championship trophy, but something needs to be named after Ron Robison when he's done.
Interjecting into the sports update, Jeff the Stamps fan says The Rock would not get booed at McMahon. That's ridiculous. No, they just saved that for Bo. I'm sorry.
They're easy. I get it. They're easy.
They've never actually booed him there, I don't think. You know what? What he was complaining about was, I think it was the fans leaving early. Was that not the deal? Something, or I can't remember. The Blue Jays open a 3-game series tonight in Baltimore. The Jays are coming off an 8-4 loss to the Yankees last night in Buffalo that put Toronto under the 500 mark for the first time since April 28th. The good news is Baltimore's lost 8 in a row. So it's a toilet bowl tonight at Camden Yards. Well, you know what? Chris Bird watching from Toronto. He says The Rock would be cheered large at BMO. Ooh. Does the CFL even dare bring The Rock in for a game? You think? It's part of your thing, eh?
The
U.S. Open continues today in San Diego. Can you dig up how that's going, Moose? The first round of the golf major will be completed this morning after play last night was suspended due to darkness. Russell Henley was the leader at 4 under. Louis Oosthuizen was also at 4 under. What do you got?
Yeah, Richard Bland is at 5 under. He's 4 under on the day. That's a big mover. I'm trying to think of who's moving. DeChambeau's 3 under today, up into the top 11. Adam Hadwin tees off after 3 o'clock this afternoon. Who else has gone pretty low? Give me 1 second here. Yeah.
Where's DJ? Did you see? Where's Dustin Johnson?
Hayden Buckley. We don't know who he is. He's 10 over today.
Wow.
DJ. Where's Dustin Johnson? He is +4 today through 9, +4 overall. He was even yesterday. He's T83. Justin Spieth turned it around. He's 4 over yesterday. He's 1 under through 11 today. So there you go. Brooks Koepka tees off in a little bit too.
This sports update for dubnetwork.ca, your number one source for Western Hockey League breaking news and analysis with the best team of writers across Western Canada and the Pacific Northwest. Visit dubnetwork.ca. And for Ben Cahoon's G2G protein bars, now with 8 amazing flavors, including the new almond mocha. What flavor are you having, Paul?
Almond mocha.
Oh, that's the new one. Stay away from the almond coconut, please. That's my favorite.
So, just on that for a second, Jim, our national sales manager,
Yes.
Ben Kuhn sent him some G2G bars. There's peanut butter and jam.
What?
That's what Jim said.
They're holding out on us.
That's what Jim said.
They're holding out on us.
I've never seen it delivered to us. That might be my favorite.
RP Show viewers get 20% off with the promo code RP Show. Order yours now at g2gbars.ca. PB&J Energy Bars.
I'm here for it.
Hook us up. Breaking news. Thank you, Kelly Regish, for writing this in. Kicker Justin Medlock not expected to return to the Blue Bombers, as reported by CFL Headlines on Twitter. Here we go. Here we go.
One of the best in the league.
No, it's not. This is the tip of the iceberg, would be my guess. Of big-name guys that just...
Yeah.
You think it's a one-off?
No.
No, me
No,
either.
I don't either. I think there's going to be a lot of names we're going to be, how do we let him go? How does he leave? How do we cut him? It's going to be a little wild for the next, 6 weeks.
Wayne in Victoria says, do we believe Twitter on the Justin Medlock news? The CFL Headlines guy, you can believe. Absolutely. So it's funny, I guess Jeremy O'Day, the Rough Riders general manager, said the other day in a media availability that there would be vets retiring. Immediately, I had another team texting me going, who's he talking about? I'm like, I don't know. I'm not the rider guy anymore. And by the way, I can't get you tickets. Did I tell you who was trying to... I don't even have tickets. I can't get you tickets. It's over. It was over 2 years ago. We'll come back with overtime. It's going to be a fun face-off. And also a very important message from Direct West. It's the RP Show on Game Plus TV, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds. Full-service car wash at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Stars, you're dispatched to a scene call. Patient has multiple traumatic injuries and is unconscious but breathing.
This is why I back the Stars lottery.
Stars, we can accept the mission.
This is why I'm all in.
Mission accepted. Have a safe flight.
The prizes are great. The cause is critical.
Stars Lottery, the lottery on a mission. Get your early bird tickets by June 24th for a chance to win a truck, trailer, toys, and cash. Buy yours at starslottery.ca or 1-844-STARS-SK.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline. Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
At Capital GMC, we don't just sell vehicles, we buy them too. You know how we always have such a big inventory with an amazing selection? That's because we buy all makes, all models, and all years. we're going to give you the best price every time. And you don't even have to buy from us. All you have to do is visit us online or in-store, answer a few questions about your vehicle, and we'll get you a great offer. We'll even cut you a check on the same day. So save yourself the hassles of selling privately and sell it to us. Because at Capital GMC, we'll buy it.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
You got something to say? You want to add to the show? What are you waiting for? Don't just sit there. Say something. Now, back to the studio with Rod.
We got a lot to get to here. And Clark, thank you so much for the reminder. We got some great comments and questions from our viewers, so hang on. And I know you just can't wait to face off because you think you're going to destroy me.
No, but...
Put me in the ground, as they say.
The rock bottom.
Yeah. Mandy in Edmonton says, are Rod and Dupes going to be traveling to a lot of games in other cities this season? That's the plan. We have a standing invitation from the BC Lions. Clearly we have one from you from Edmonton, Mandy. Darren, we have to give the people what they want.
We do.
We have to travel and go to road games.
Yeah.
Toronto, we got to go watch my team.
Yeah, so that's a dream now. It's on my bucket list at BMO. I think I want to be down on the field. We should flip the coin. That would be really cool. In Argonauts gear. I could see it, right?
Yeah, we're going to be going on the road. I don't know why I didn't have this up. Direct West, one of our most trusted partners here at the RP Show, Direct West, they want you to know something. They are, well... This is what they want you to hear. Have you ever wanted to celebrate a special occasion while sharing it with the world? Direct West is proud to launch Celebrate with Direct West. Now you can post a message on any Direct West digital billboard across the province, and it will play for 6 seconds every minute for the entire day. So think about that for a second. It's a great way to celebrate someone's birthday, grad, anniversary, and have some fun in a big way. So you can go to their website, visit directwest.com/celebrate to book yours today. Your own billboards with whatever message you want.
That's cool.
directwest.com/celebrate.
I wonder what...
How about that?
I'm going to do it. I just don't know what message I'm going to put on the billboard yet. It's cheap. Like, it's really affordable, and you can put your message on a billboard for an entire day. Like, billboards aren't cheap. It's not like businesses advertise. It's smart money. But for an everyday person, it's not cheap. This is affordable. I wonder what I'm going to put on
Whoever came up with this is a genius.
When I win a face-off, I'm going to just suck it, Rod. And I'm just going to put that on a billboard all day.
I think a lot of people will be. By the way, Direct West sponsors the MySask Business of the Week. We do it every week. We're connecting businesses to businesses, people to people. And MySask 411 app is a phone book right in your hand. I use it every single day. It's on my main screen. On to more business. Dun, dun, dun. We're going to face off right now for the Ultimate Fan Zone and the Mad Greek Restaurant in Moose Jaw. And I got this Blue Jays jersey at Ultimate Fan Zone, by the way. They got every team. It's your home for Vegas-born merchandise, Canada's team, the Vegas Golden Knights. But the question is, well, I don't even know what the question is. Is it, would The Rock be booed if he showed up on the sidelines of a CFL game, or should the CFL bring him in and put him on the sidelines of a CFL game? What is it?
I think that's it. You know, will we see The Rock at a CFL game this season? Will we see The Rock at a CFL game this season?
You go first, Mr. Smart Guy.
I think yes, absolutely. Like, I don't think he's just going to randomly show up, but I think we will see The Rock in a luxury suite next to Randy Ambrosie at the Grey Cup in Hamilton. I really do. I think he shows up, he's sitting there, he'll do a wave, he'll smile as big as he does as like the sun, and he'll show up at Grey Cup.
No. It's some game of your random choosing. It's halftime, and the lights kill, and a spotlight goes on the tunnel, and the theme from Ballers starts playing. Da 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 da. By Lil Wayne. Da 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 da. Right?
Yeah.
Haters in the building.
I love it.
How about that?
And The Rock comes walking out all by himself, and the place just goes absolutely mental. That's how you do it.
Like when he came out at the monster trucks and he came with the mic, and he's bringing a team to Vegas, right? Just like in the show.
Dun, 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 dun. We can't play that, unfortunately. Pain is in the building. Yeah, I think that's... Well, between the two of us, we got to figure it out.
Yeah.
The Mad Greek in Moose Jaw brings you the face-off. The patio is now open for licensed dining at the Mad Greek in Moose Jaw. Visit them today. And by the Ultimate Fan Zone, now just a click away. From our man cave to your man cave. Shop online today at ultimatefanzone.ca.
You know what I was waiting for when I started talking? As soon as I got like 2 syllables, it doesn't matter what your opinion is. That's what I was waiting for from you.
You bunch of candy asses. You know what, you and I were just there? Cole Caulfield and Nick Suzuki on a breakaway. Just ding,
man.
Ding, 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 ding. Right behind Jack Campbell.
That's
Stuck
right.
on that. Tacona Pauli in Winnipeg says, Ballers, the best. Andrew Stute, an original Montrealer, says they both picked the Golden Knights. Who did? What are we talking about? What did I miss? Everybody's picking the Vegas Golden Knights. Chris Bird in Toronto says, I bet MLSE brings Dwayne Johnson in as a publicity stunt. We're trying to keep it all positive here. I was thinking of Drake the other day because I listened to Channel 44, Hip Hop Nation, all the time, as you know, in my car. Every second song's Drake something. And I just think of the people that are saying, oh, the Argos should get Drake in at a game, like the Raptors do. I'm like, but he doesn't want to go. If he wanted to go, he'd be there. He's the Raptors guy. You know, these publicity stunts. Remember a couple years ago, Edmonton brought in, well, they were leading the league in halftime concerts. They had Flo Rida, Salt and Peppa. Who else did they have? A lot of great concerts. They brought Shannon Sharp in for like no reason. It's just Shannon Sharp shows up.
Yeah. Random.
And I think they were leading the league in attendance the year that they did that. Jeff, the Stamps fan, says, once an elk, always an elk. That really doesn't roll off the tongue or have a ring to it. Can you milk an elk?
I'm not going to try. I don't think you can.
You can, but you gotta pet her first. From Troy in Toronto, he says the Rock should come in for a play and get to sack Bo Levi. Wouldn't that be something? Tomorrow's Saturday. Next week, we got Greg Zahn, Blue Jays great, World Series champion. Talk all things Major League Baseball. Andy McNeil, he's the betting guy, right? Clark?
Yep. He's our guy from Edmonton.
Yeah. Jerry Hack, author, senior hockey goalie extraordinaire, the author of Memoirs of a Hockey Nobody by Jerry Teabag Hack. It's not as dirty as it sounds. And from Julie Stewart Binks, she'll be with us, the great JSB. And Rick Campbell of the BC Lions. Whoa! Clark's just knocking him out of the park here. John Schmeiser in Kansas City says, not sure about milking an elk, but they're great tasting. I think that's a good way to end it, eh?
Yeah. I'm good.
You're like, get off the air.
Before PETA gives us a call.
I know. See you Monday at noon Eastern, 10 a.m. Mountain, right here on Game Plus TV. No laughing on the sponsors, Coach. This is the media. We're not supposed to have fun.
Yeah, exactly.
How about that? How about that?